Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know we're supposed to expect a lot of showers and thunderstorms here on the East Coast and Northern Virginia. Hopefully, the weather's decent on your side of the coast. Summer's almost over. I can't still believe we're in August, but hey, life goes on. Today, we're going to talk about celebrity culture and who really cares, because I know I don't. I remember as a teenager and as a child, I was obviously obsessed with pop culture, rappers, rock stars, actors and actresses and things of that nature. But as an adult, I figure I have more important things to spend my not only my time on but my money on all at the same time. And a lot of people, it never kills me to just see even grown adults that just immerse themselves in celebrity culture. And I see this now with social media. I mean, obviously, whether you're on Twitter, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook, or just get on Google all at the same time, you can just see how much people are really constantly immersing themselves and engaging in what celebrities are doing, the ins and outs of what they're saying. And of course, everybody can't wait to get offended and all this other crap. And, no matter whether you're listening to the radio, watching TV, or on the internet, chances are you are going to be basically told what is going on with the specific celebrity. And for a lot of people that go off the grid, they don't even have to worry about that, but it's like, because a great example, my grandfather lives in the middle of nowhere in upstate New York, and for the most part, you can't even he's so high up on a mountain that you can't even really get cell phone reception. The most you can do is text. So I think he even still has old-fashioned internet where he has to use the phone line. For those of you that remember those back in the day, in order for him to get on the internet, and he can't even use his house phone when he gets on the internet. But sometimes it's actually kind of a good thing to be away from all this minutia and nonsense that's going on in society, because it clouds not only your judgment, but it actually clouds your focus. And the main reason why I'm making this video is because I see so many people getting caught up in all this crap in the celebrity culture that it clouds their focus to the point where they're not even putting enough energy on their hopes, aspirations, and dreams, because they're so worried about what some celebrity said, and that's just, to me, that's just it's a pretty sad thing, but it is what it is. And another thing is, one of my favorite YouTubers, Dr. Royce Watkins, he mentioned this beef that was going on between 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather. If you don't know, 50 Cent is an entrepreneur, successful entrepreneur, rapper, businessman, has his own record label, has his own production company, very successful guy. Floyd Mayweather, successful boxer. He's made a lot of successful investments, and the one thing there's a couple things that these two really have in common, and that one thing, to me, in my opinion, is they came from nothing, and they've created wealth and are making money work for them. So in my book, these are two people that are very successful. That's all I care about when it comes to 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather, that they're very successful people. But the downside is and the reason why I'm mentioning this is, like, these guys are, one, they're older than me. I'm 35 years old. Two, they have families. I don't. And the fact that they are older than me, have more money than me, have families, and they're wasting time going, basically beefing with one another and taking shots at one another on social media, it just boggles my mind, and it kind of just baffles me, because I'm just like, you guys, if I had half of your network, I would not be wasting my time worrying about what another person is doing. I would be trying to form more business relationships, so not only can I keep my wealth, but I can grow my wealth all at the same time in an intellectual manner. And I know that they do that, but the fact that they're wasting all this time on this nonsense because they don't particularly care for each other, it just goes back to who cares? And I say it again, who cares? Continuously focus on your business. And then the fact that people that are on social media going back and forth about 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather's beef, I'm just like, really? Who cares? I mean, heck, I don't watch that much TV, but I do watch the show Power, which is, 50 Cent is the executive producer of. I think it's a great show. It's like, I commend you more for that than you worried about what Floyd Mayweather's doing. The same thing with Floyd Mayweather. It's just like, come on, y'all. Y'all are too old to be acting like this. Like I said, it goes back to like the Biggie and Tupac beef back in the day. Imagine where that beef would have went to if they had access to social media like we do today. Back then they just used music and the media. And if you would have put through in social media, who knows where it would have went. I mean, they probably still would have ended up dead like they did, but it probably just would have been 10 times worse. worse. So that's the thing nowadays. What you have with social media, when people have little beefs with one another, they don't, they take it to the streets, but then they still take it to they take it to social media, and social media has allowed people to be tough guys and tough women, because they know there's not really going to be any sort of reaction, and maybe a comment or a post or a video, but it's not going to really be any video reactions, because we have what we call nowadays, or at least what I call them Facebook thugs, where they just talk real big on the internet, but if you saw them in person, they would probably wet themselves. But that's another thing, because I think it's all a waste of time. I just really just will never get it, and it just boggles my mind, And here's another thing. Stop crying. We have a lot of people in society that love to whine and complain about any and every freaking thing. Who cares if somebody says something that offends you? It's the old adage, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I'll say it again. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I was told that as a child, and as a grown man, I don't worry about it anymore. When I was in my early mid-20s, I used to get all hostile when somebody would say something that I didn't particularly care for. I'd get like a little bit of an angry reaction. But now it's like, what's the point? Who cares? Life is too short. You know what? You're another adult. You're going to have your opinion. There's nothing I could say or do to change your mind. Or possibly only way I could do that is if I threw a bunch of billions of dollars your way. Because that's a great way you see in celebrity culture for people to change their opinions when money's on the table and when it's thrown at them. But I think that's the only way you really can change certain people's minds. Not everybody, but certain people's minds nowadays, if you continuously throw money at them. But for the most part, people are very strong in their convictions. You're not going to change their mind. And my thing is, at the end of the day, if it doesn't physically and financially affect you, then who cares? Do not cry and whine about it. Everybody gets so we live in a very reactionary world where people get in reactionary mode when it comes to any and everything, and they don't understand at the end of the day, it's all about the money. It's all about the money. Music, celebrity culture, media, social media, whether it's real news or fake news, it's all about the money, all about the bottom line. And if people just really focus more on that and realize that the world is run by business people and people with an entrepreneurial mindset, and they just find out ways how they can capitalize on specific things. And a lot of times maybe Floyd Mayweather and 50 Cent are capitalizing on this beef that they got with one another. They might be getting extra stock in other social media networks because of the fact that they got a little beef going on. Things happen for a reason. Usually money is the reason why things are induced, when it comes to everything. It's a game, and it's a game that you're supposed to either play to win or you play to lose. But if you're spending multiple time worrying about what a celebrity or even a politician and what they're saying, and you're not getting any financial compensation out of that worry, then I look at it as wasted time. But that's just my personal opinion. I leave it at that. I think if people would focus more on the money in their lives and their finances and their dreams and their businesses, it's like, because I always say, look, you don't have to, if you don't want to own a business, great. At least focus on getting a higher paycheck so that you can at least focus on putting some of that money that you get into, if you haven't purchased a home, purchase a home so you can get a little bit of a tax write-off from it, buy more assets or stocks, bonds, cryptocurrency, whatever have you, or land, any sort of an asset that's going to give you a return on your investment. If you haven't, open up an IRA, open up a money market account. There's so many things you can do with your money if you don't want to own a business. I get it, or become somewhat of an investor in a business, but get to the point where you're making your money work for you and you're not always working for it, and get to a point where you're around people that had that same conversation, because conversations are key. You could have all the knowledge in the world, you could have all the money in the world, but it doesn't mean a hill of beans, as my grandmother would say, if you're not surrounded by the right people. And that's the thing. You're surrounded by the wrong people who are constantly gossiping and talking about celebrity culture, then you're doing it all wrong. Because that's not going to get you anywhere in life, trust me. So usually most times celebrities aren't worried about, as much as I don't care about the Kardashians, they're not worried about what Larry Patterson has to say about them or any other person that's not at their level financially. The Kardashians are getting paid. Love them or hate them, they're getting paid. Okay, that's just what it is at the end of the day. And speaking of the Kardashians, talk about, what's his name? Kanye West. I think he's a very in a sense, a smart guy. Financially, he's doing great. Musical genius. Will never take that away from Kanye West. I always thought he was a little off, even before he got married to the Kardashians. I always thought he was a little off before he became a fan of Donald Trump. He's always been off. But at the end of the day, what Kanye West says or what he does doesn't affect me, because what I do and say doesn't affect him. And that's my whole thing. Even if I'm not a fan of him, he's not going to care. He's going to make his money at the end of the day. Kanye West does not care about what Larry's doing. It's not on his radar. So why should anybody else care what he says or does? People just get caught up in this minutia instead of, because like I said, when Kanye West goes to bed at night, Kanye West makes money in his sleep. Him and his wife, they make money in their sleep. They're not worried about what you're saying about them on social media. So like I said, why do we waste our times with all this nonsense? It's not even worth it. It's not even worth it. I go back to it. If it has nothing to do with you, your family, your friends, making money and making money work for you, no one cares. People with money don't care. Nobody understands that logic, but they look at me like I'm crazy because I say that. But anyways. Now we go to, one thing that everybody gets caught up with, or President Donald Trump says, what LeBron James says, what Michael Jordan says, and guess what they have in common? Money. These guys make money in their sleep. Whether they're doing good or whether they're doing bad, these guys make money in their sleep. Whether you're a fan of theirs, whether you're not a fan of theirs, these guys make money in their sleep. They are businessmen at the end of the day. They're businessmen first before they're really anything else. The only reason why I care about LeBron James is, one reason is, well, he's playing for my favorite city, not my favorite team, but my favorite city, because I don't watch sports and I probably will never see him play a game. But LeBron James is a smart businessman, one, and two, LeBron James has given back to his community, and that's why he's on my list of people that I study and see how I can potentially get to that level one day. But him, LeBron James, Donald Trump, Michael Jordan, they all got one thing in common. They're successful business people. At the end of the day, love them or hate them, they don't worry about you when they go to sleep. So you should not worry about them when you go to sleep. They don't worry about you when they wake up. Therefore, you should not worry about them when you wake up. It's just, all I'm saying is, put a little bit more attention and emphasis on your own financial portfolio before you start worrying about somebody else's, and worry about what you say and what you and your family and friends are doing, instead of worrying about what some celebrity that makes more money than you'll ever see in your lifetime, what they're saying and what they're doing. I leave it at that. It's just, if you consistently worry about that nonsense, you're gonna be wasting time. And like I said, money is something you can get, but time is something you can never get back. And remember, it's all about the money at the end of the day, and you need to just stay focused on that instead of be worrying about what somebody else is saying. I keep it real in that aspect. I don't wake up and worry about what somebody says, whether it's the president, whether it's a congressman, whether it's the governor, whether it's a city official, whether it's a CEO. I don't worry about it. I'm worrying about ways how I can come up in a great and efficient manner as a business person, because that's, to me right now, that's all that matters in regards to goals and aspirations. And I would hope that everybody else is on that same train and not get caught up in the minutia of what's going on in social media and what's going on in the media and what's going on throughout the country with all this divisiveness nonsense. Focus on your goals and aspiration. Take care of home first. And once you take care of home first, see how you can give back in a way where you can still make money work for you, but you're helping somebody else achieve their goals and aspiration. Because then once you've achieved it, you can become a mentor, and then the cycle can definitely continue, how you can help you, yourself, your community, and the list goes on and on. But remember, at the end of the day, every time you turn on that television, every time you get on your cell phone, every time you get on the internet, every time you go to the store, every time you go to work, it's all about money. Period. Every time you use an Uber or Lyft, it's all about money. Airbnb, it's all about money. Any station you watch, any app you utilize, it's all about the money. Do not be fooled by any other nonsense but that. That's the beautiful thing about America. It's a capitalistic society. Everybody's looking for ways how they can capitalize on something, and they do a great job of it. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't get so involved in celebrity culture. Please share and like and subscribe, and have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.